Hello and welcome back to the channel. So I want to react to this video with you guys. We're going to go ahead and get it started right now.
Mega music. Happy pretending to give a fuck about Juneteenth, everybody. There's some really great news. Jonathan Majors is finally coming back. He is officially uncanceled. He's got a new movie coming out that he will be filming soon. That's great. And in bad Juneteenth news... Oh, Amandla, that's how I like to say her name, Amandla. I'm like Patrice O'Neal. I have no patience for shitty names. She's starring in this new Star Wars show called The Acolyte. It's terrible. I don't think I need to tell you guys that, though. I've only seen the first and third episode, but by episode 3, the point is abundantly clear that The Acolyte is another Disney turd.
Power 1, the power 2, the power 1.
Everyone's saying it's shit. Amandla didn't take that well, so she went to her Instagram. Hold on, this is her. This is what she said. Happy Juneteenth. Black heart, of course, because that's important. And to those who are flooding me with intolerable...
Yeah, I want to stop it there. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. If this was reversed and someone had a more ethnic name and they were, like, making fun of it and acting like it was difficult to pronounce and, you know, saying that it's, like, a stupid name, what do you think they would be called? But let's go ahead and continue.
It's just yes, the intolerable racism that your show sucks. And I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who's racist enough to dislike anything with black people or inclusivity, they're not watching the show. And they're not going to go scouting for some random biracial girl's Instagram just to tell her she sucks in the DMs, which she hasn't really provided any proof of any hates or death threat.
And then another thing, she's not some random biracial girl. She's a literal celebrity that's been a celebrity since she was a child. And I remember her getting a lot of backlash being in the, she was kind of like the original Halle Bailey when it comes to backlash for like a black girl being casted in something that was originally a white girl. And she played Rue in the Hunger Game movies. And a lot of people felt like the character was originally white, which she wasn't if you read the books, long story. But, yeah, she's been like on the front lines of, you know, representation for black people. But some people say in the books that the character was never white. They actually had dark skin. So even her being casted as a biracial girl was still like not good enough for some people. But at the end of the day, she was a child when that happened. And she was like really proud to be, you know, a black person and be casted in that film as a black person. There were a few roles in that film, the Hunger Games film, where a lot of people assumed these characters would be white and they were black, and she was one of them. So, no, she's not just some random biracial chick. She had been getting hate online for years, so it wouldn't be pronounced to me that someone is still doing that to her.
So she's getting, so we can only take her word for it. But we'll get into how much her word is worth in a second. Since it took me 72 hours on my laptop to make this song. Wow. It took me 72 hours on my laptop to make this song in video. You got 72 hours to respond. And I expect choreo. I guess it means choreography. Wow, you were like, who the fuck shortens choreography to choreo? That must be an LA thing. Whatever. The girl with millions of Instagram followers who is part of Disney, Star Wars property, worth a lot of money, college educated, violin enthusiast allegedly. Apparently, this is like the crux, the pinnacle of oppression. When someone tells you that something that you're in might suck. That's why her afro is so big in the video. Anything that humbles her, like, it blocks it out. Criticism, self-reflection, bing, 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 bing. But anyway, I'm tired of waiting. Let's do this. Get into it. This is that Diddy party boss music. As soon as Diddy walks in with a goat head and the dildo in one hand. Oh, sweetie. We should not know what type of lady chic you use when seeing you dance, okay? Leave it to this generation to do the trashiest thing in the name of dignity. I love how she emphasizes, like, Amandla, honey, that was a movie. It was a movie, Amandla.
People cry in the theaters, find a release. Why people cry, they can see us as human beings.
October 5th, 2018, the day that will live in infamy. The day The Hate You Give was released, and white people across the globe developed empathy for black people. The day those Mayo monkeys became human. Thanks to her heroic efforts, our ebony empress, Amandla Stenberg, can look down on us from her throne of afro hair with great pride. I mean, really, is this bitch serious?
I said white people cry, what's the goal? If they could take one thing, what would it be? I say empathy. Oh, that's what you mad at me?
Yeah, because you made a blanket implication of white people lacking empathy.
You are made of stupid.
And also thinking anyone could gain meaning from your race-baiting YA novel roster of films from the 2010s is like, bitch, you have spiders in your brain.
Slice minds make hate, they recognize, make it look like the same propaganda they spew.
Could it be that racism is racism no matter who's targeted, and that you might be the racist in this scenario? Or
And I find this so funny because I don't know a lot about Amandla. I don't really follow her. I just know about her being casted in certain movies and how that reflects on different black women. But this girl is clearly like top tier light skin apologist and literally going against half of her DNA to accommodate black people. And you're calling her racist. Like, this, come on, like, you really cannot make this stuff up.
Does not apply to you because black people can't be racist or whatever claptrap we let go of in 2012. Because, well, first off,
you ain't black.
Secondly, if you had been born looking anything like your father, if you had been a shade lighter and a brain cell smarter, Disney wouldn't even fuck with you.
Even passed over a qualified half-black.
And then that's another thing. I thought that the narrative was, as long as your mother is black, then you're black. Because if your father is black, then he's probably fetishizing your non-black mother, and he won't pass down the black traits, whatever that means. But if her mother is black, then what's the problem now? Like, if you don't like her, just say that.
Person for a promotion because they didn't look black enough.
We wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago now who was half black, but didn't appear half black. They wanted somebody in meetings who would appear a certain way, and he wasn't going to bring that to the meeting.
And so this is like on the
This is on the
side, like the business side.
If you're mixed, but you don't look black at all, which sometimes happens.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, I'm not so sure. But if you're mixed and you can tell that somebody's part black, but they're not like that black, then okay, that was it's crazy.
But no. Go ahead. Keep shucking and jiving down the goddamn street like a gangly prostitute. You prop.
The desperation of oppressors is rising.
Sweetie, those oppressors, you're working for them.
There's no way we're hungry right now. You can tell that somebody's part black.
And then they always like pull in this narrative like, oh, well, you're doing this for the white man. Okay, aren't we all? We all like partake in capitalism whether you like it or not. Like, unless you're a homeless person and you live like in a van or something, you're a part of it. Everyone's doing what they have to do to survive. And it's not like she's, saying Kanye West type things and saying slavery was a choice. She's sitting here going against half her DNA to compensate people like you. And you're calling her a racist. So that's just incredible to me. It's incredible how someone can be so dense.
If you rely upon this information, then that tells me you're afraid of the truth.
You mean the misinformation that only white racist Star Wars fans, which is the dumbest fucking phrase.
The Jedi have returned.
We're just fanatics out here waiting on Return of the Jedi. 3 years in the making. We're waiting for this.
Fantasy and sci-fi in general, it hasn't felt like a safe space always for people of color.
Some people don't idolize Darth Vader like I do. I want him to get loose.
I guess Darth Vader will die. I'm not sure. I hope he doesn't. I love his black.
I don't think I could have ever imagined myself as a Jedi because I was not reflected.
Fuck you too. Fuck you too.
Yeah, just like those racist white Empire fans.
This MAGA country.
Only the white racist Star Wars fans are attacking you? When in reality, black social media spaces have been on your ass for being corny for years. There was one point where this chick was like female Drake. People were calling her out for, like I said, just being corny and having to remind her, yeah, your father's white, sweetie. Relax. You're trying too hard. And this is where I want to bring up this topic because I think it needs to be addressed. I think people need to know about this subset of famous black person. It's what I would like to call a malleable mulatto. What that means is this is a person who does not know who they are. They are torn between two worlds. They swing wherever the wind blows or wherever they're going to get the most validation. And usually that's the side they're always swinging to is like, I'm black. And they try really hard to let you know because they're usually the most woke, the most loud, the most racist, the most hateful, the most like, hey, for my fellow blacks. And y'all know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't even need to put any pictures up. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, bitch. They love their black parent. They probably pose with their black parent at any chance they get, and you never see them with the white parent. The white parent is usually...
Okay, this is so weird. One, who would impose with their parent? And two, they are half black, so why wouldn't they claim that just as much as they would be able to claim the other side? And three, there are so many instances, like even like Tyler, or just, any person who has an identity that's outside of the box. I remember even this Creole woman from Louisiana. She went viral for saying that she doesn't really identify as African American. Raven Simone. She said she didn't really identify as African American. Let a woman that looks a certain way or has a certain phenotype say, hey, I really don't identify as black. That's not where I go. You guys lose your fucking minds. And say that they hate themselves and this and that and that and this and tell them they can't get awards from BET. But here, you're saying that if she claims her blackness, that she's just doing it because she's a prop? Like, at this point, what is even the argument?
All but discarded from their life. They only acknowledge the color. And Amandla is definitely one of those people. She'll talk about her father's Danish Inuit background whenever it makes her look more interesting. Like, she'll say she's Danish for like half a second and go, well, he's an Inuit too. Inuits, that's native, right? That's kind of like brownish. There's always an apology to be made for their white ancestry. And these people are very pathetic and their insecurity shines through with everything they do. There was a time when they were first casting for Shuri for the first Black Panther film. And Amandla wanted to talk about colorism, so she bullshitted and said that she was the one who was at the top of the heap to play Shuri, and how that's bad because she's light-skinned and she shouldn't be taking roles from dark-skinned actresses. It turns out she's a fucking hypocrite because she took a role in...
But isn't that what y'all want, though? Y'all sat there and bashed that girl when I've heard other actresses do the same thing. I've heard of Zendaya doing the exact same thing and still maybe not taking pro-black roles, because the thing with Zendaya is she'll take a role that's a good role. She don't take race-bait roles. She doesn't allow herself to be typecasted. So if you're not that famous of an actress, or you're just trying to get a gig that you can get, how are you gonna tell somebody how they're supposed to like make their money? You know, at the end of the day, especially like with the I forget the book, but there was like The Children of Blood and Bones or something. The writer of that book casted her in that film. Like, it comes to a point to where anything this girl does, they're gonna have a problem with it. So if I was her, I probably wouldn't take a role for Harriet Tubman or no shit like that. But yeah, I'm definitely finna eat. Like, I'm definitely finna, if I get a call back, I'm taking it. If I feel like I can do the real justice. And that's another thing with actors nowadays. I've noticed that a lot of actors, they've been trying to like look the part instead of play the part. I don't know if you guys seen the Tupac movie. Okay, so he did look like Tupac a little bit, but he didn't act like him, and that kind of took away from it. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that, but we're going to continue on to the video.
The hate you give the girl representing the lead character on the book was dark skin. Amandla dark skin. But yeah, she took the role anyway because she wanted to be woke. And she wanted this movie on her resume. So you know. But what's strange about that is the author of the book came to her defense and said, oh, well, that's not, no, we casted her before my book even had a cover art. So wait a minute, you're telling me, number one, you had a movie deal before you had cover art for your own book? Number two, don't you think it's a little fucking confusing to put a dark-skinned, coarse-haired black girl on the cover of a book about a black girl as the lead character? Meanwhile, you cast Amandla? You didn't think that'd be a little confusing to people? So that's why I'm thinking that maybe the author was full of shit and just wanted to defend her. She was kind of young at the time. I mean, you gotta take her word.
Another thing that I wanted to point out was that I believe Amandla said that her name is actually like an African name and it has its own special meaning. So making fun of that could be seen as a microaggression since we're nitpicking everything. And another thing I find funny is that when it comes to that white man who was basically saying, or whatever he was, who was basically saying, we wouldn't hire a mixed race person that looks more mixed race than black. We basically want a mixed race black passing person, which I see Amandla as that. Because I know non-mixed black women that look like that. So, and most of the time when a woman looks like that, there's usually something going on there, even if it's not like her in her immediate family. But even that guy said that it's harder for more exotic looking black women to get certain roles. You get it? So we have like racially unambiguous black women, then we have like black passing exoticals, which is really, that's like the peak beauty standard. Like the same way they use dark skin exoticals as the beauty standard for dark skinned women, black passing exoticals, especially if they have like caramel skin, those are like the epitome of black beauty. Like all the girls that they name are black passing exoticals, or exoticals where like Aaliyah, where, people say like she's just African American, but you can clearly see there's something going on there, like be for real. So those women usually hold the beauty standard in the black community. So if you happen to be a little bit more exotic looking, like you look way more racially ambiguous, you wouldn't even be able to land a role like that. Meaning it's competition on both ends. Different people are getting casted for different roles. That's part of Hollywood, right? So, and let's say that role did go to another person. Is that person supporting capitalism? Is that person supporting the oppressors? No, you would just allow them to do it and you would call it representation. So at that point, it becomes redundant. But again, I would love to know your opinions. Do you feel like there's even any point in trying to uphold any of this, black woman empowerment stuff when it's always going to be one side against the other and one side just refusing to empathize with the other? Let me know. Please leave a comment. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.